Welcome everyone. In this lecture we are going to see the special cases of inverting amplifier. As we have seen the all parameters of voltage shunt feedback amplifier, and these parameters are voltage gain, input resistance, output resistance. Then we have find the equation for bandwidth with feedback and the total output offset voltage. This configuration of operational amplifier is also applicable in number of the applications with little changes into the circuit, that is called as special cases of the inverting amplifier. The first special case of inverting amplifier with feedback is the current to voltage converter circuit. What we did into this is, as we have known, the circuit is like this, where we are providing input signal V into the inverting input terminal, and after that we are providing zero input voltage, that is V1 voltage is equal to 0 here. So the circuit is an inverting configuration. Vin is given through R1 to the inverting input terminal and output is fed back to the inverting through resistor RF. Okay. So when we wrote the equation for output voltage or the gain equation is AF is equal to V0 by Vin, and that gain we have derived is minus RF by R1. Okay. By the virtual ground concept, we know that ideally differential input voltage is equal to 0. What is differential input voltage is? It is the difference between voltage at non-inverting minus voltage at inverting. That is, voltage at non-inverting is V1 minus voltage at inverting is V2. So when this voltage is equal to 0, it means that V1 is equal to V2. But what is the V1 voltage? V1 voltage is equal to 0. Therefore, V2 voltage is also is equal to 0. So if V2 is equal to 0, and we know that because of this V in input voltage, there is current flowing through resistor R1, and that current is input current I in. So how we can write the equation for current through resistor R1 is voltage at the one end of R1 minus voltage at the another end of R1 divided by resistance of the branch is nothing but current through the resistor R1. So that we are writing I in is equal to V in minus V2 divided by R1. See, it is V in minus V2 divided by R1. We know that what is V2 is? V2 is equal to V1 and V1 is equal to 0. Therefore, V2 will also become is equal to 0. When we are substituting for V2 is equal to 0 here, I in current will become is equal to V in by R1. If we rearrange this equation for output voltage, that is V0 by V in is equal to minus RF by R1. Now we can write V0 is equal to, shift this V in to the right hand side, minus V in by R1 into RF. See, what is V in by R1? V in by R1 from equation 2 is input current I in. So the output voltage equation here, we can write the output voltage equation V0 is equal to minus of input current into RF. Negative sign simply indicates phase inversion. Okay. So, which is 180 degree out of phase to the input signal. So, this circuit will give the output as voltage, where we are providing the variable input current. We are providing input as current and we got at the output voltage V0, and which is minus I in into RF. It means that if there is any change into the input current, there is change into the output voltage. So the current varies, the output voltage also varies. So that this circuit is called as a current to voltage converter. Such circuits are applicable in number of applications where it will be used to sense the current from some of the photosensitive devices like photodiodes or photodetectors, and where again we can use this type of circuits in the digital to analog converter circuits. Okay. So this means that when we are replacing this V in and R1 by current source I in, the circuit will simply provide the proportional output voltage V0, and applications of this current to voltage converter are voltage detector, where we are detecting the current from the photodetectors, and digital to analog converter applications. This is the first special case of inverting amplifier with feedback. The another special case for the inverting amplifier with feedback is the inverter circuit. The name itself will suggest us that the output is inversion of the input signal. That is, there is no change into the amplitude, there is only change into its phase. That is, when we are providing the input signal V in, output is minus of V in. That is, output signal is equal in amplitude but which is opposite in phase to that of the input signal. Okay, so we can see here the circuit is how we can design the circuit which will produce the output is inversion of the input signal. V1 voltage is equal to 0. We are providing V in, and this is the current through resistor R1, RF, and there is some output voltage which is fed back to the input inverting input terminal through feedback resistor RF. What is the output voltage equation? V0 is equal to minus RF by R1 into V in. What we want is, we want output is same in amplitude but which is 180 degree out of phase to the input signal. So when its amplitude will be same to the input signal, when gain factor will become is equal to 1. So when we are selecting the values of resistor RF and R1 such that this value or this ratio will produce 1. That is, when we are finding out RF by R1 is equal to 1. It means that V0 is equal to minus of V in. Amplitude remains same, only there is change into the phase. We know that what is RF by R1 is gain of the amplifier, inverting amplifier. Okay, since we know that inverter is a special case of the inverting amplifier with feedback, all the equations that we have developed for the inverting amplifier are also applicable to the inverter circuit. What are these equations? We already know about these equations, that is voltage gain equation, then for input resistance, output resistance, all parameters whatever we have derived for the inverting amplifier will be applicable here. See here, when we are designing its gain is equal to 1, what should be happen to the gain of feedback network? When your gain AF is equal to 1, it means that RF is equal to R1. What is the gain of feedback circuit is R1 divided by R1 plus RF. So this will produces to 1 by 2. So B will become is equal to 2. For the inverting amplifier, we know that it's when we are selected the values of resistor to set its gain is equal to 1, B will become is equal to 1 by 2. And its gain with feedback, when we are representing in terms of gain, open loop gain and gain of feedback circuit B, that will be is equal to minus AK by 1 plus AB. So when this will be happen, this gain 1 plus AB factor will reduces to 1 plus A by 2. See here, that will be goes to the A by 2 value. AB will reduces to A by 2. This effect will be only there when we are selecting RF is equal to R1 for the inverter circuit. So we can design a current to voltage converter as well as an inverter with the help of inverting amplifier with feedback. That is, only we have to select the values of resistor such that it will act as an inverter, or we have to set V in by R1, or we have to replace V in by R1 with a signal source, that is current source is equal to I in. The circuit will behave as a current to voltage converter. Okay, so now till now we have seen for both of the configurations, that is for inverting configurations we have derived all the parameters, that is from gain to the total output offset voltage, as well as we have derived for the non-inverting amplifier with its gain value, then gain has been represented in terms of open loop gain, gain of feedback network, and also we have considered that whenever the input terminal which is at virtually ground, okay, with the virtual ground concept also, when inverting input terminal is at virtual ground, then also we have find the gain of the amplifier. Okay, and also for non-inverting amplifier we have derived its gain, input resistance, output resistance, and other parameters like bandwidth, total output offset voltages. And the special case regarding the non-inverting amplifier is voltage follower circuit. Okay, so now we have to compare these all parameters. So we summarize the parameters of both the configurations, that is inverting and non-inverting amplifier. So let us see, we will tabulated here the some results which are obtained for the non-inverting and inverting amplifier, that is regarding both the configurations. First parameter, see what is the first is voltage gain. For non-inverting configurations, how we are representing it as AF is equal to A into bracket R1 plus RF divided by R1 plus RF plus AR1. This is the exact value of gain. But when we have simplified this, we got AF is equal to A divided by 1 plus AB. Or in terms of resistor values, this will be represented as 1 plus RF divided by R1, and this is the ideal gain for non-inverting amplifier. For inverting amplifier, AF is equal to minus A into RF divided by R1 plus RF plus AR1. This is the exact value, and after simplification, this is minus AK by 1 plus AB, where K is nothing but RF divided by R1 plus RF, and ideally this gain AF is equal to minus RF by R1. Okay, the another parameter is gain of the feedback network circuit or feedback network. That gain will be represented as B, and B for non-inverting is R1 by R1 plus RF, and for inverting is also same, it is R1 by R1 plus RF. So when we are comparing the parameters for both the configurations, the next parameter is input resistance. Input resistance with feedback for non-inverting configuration is 1 plus AB times the input resistance of open loop op amp Ri. That is, input resistance with negative feedback will get increased here. That is 1 plus AB times the input resistance of Ri, open loop resistance. That is for non-inverting configuration, and this property of the non-inverting configuration will facilitate it to be applied in number of applications which will have very high input resistance. This is one of the method to increase the resistance of op amp, that is use the negative feedback with non-inverting configuration. For inverting amplifier, input resistance RIF is exact having value of R1 plus RF divided by 1 plus A, which is in parallel with Ri. Already after Millerizing the feedback resistor, we got this RF by 1 plus A and Ri are in parallel, and we know here that when two high value resistors are in parallel combinations, its equivalent resistance is very minimum, and which is negligible. So near about 0 ohm we can find here. Therefore, the input resistance for inverting amplifier with feedback is equal to R1. Okay, so this is about the input resistance, and that is equal to R1, which is very less than the input resistance of open loop op amp. R1 is less than Ri here. The another parameter is output resistance with feedback. The output resistance with feedback of an operational amplifier, that is non-inverting amplifier, is R0 by 1 plus AB. It means that it will get reduced, and which is reduced by 1 by 1 plus AB times the output resistance without feedback. R0 is output resistance without feedback, and this will be reduced by 1 by 1 plus AB times the output resistance without feedback. Again, there is always requirement to have the minimum output resistance such that we can use the output of the op amp can drive the other circuitry. When we are reducing the output resistance, maximum current will be flowing through the output terminal, and that can make the output to drive the other circuitry. The same output resistance will be available for the inverting amplifier configuration, that is R0 by 1 plus AB. There is no change in both the output resistances. For both the configurations, it is similar. The bandwidth of operational amplifier, what the effects of feedback on the bandwidth. These all we have seen are the effects of the feedback on the parameters of op amp, that is either it will be getting increased or decreased, what exactly the effect will be there. So when we are using the negative feedback for non-inverting configuration, its bandwidth with feedback FF is equal to F0 into 1 plus AB. What it means is the bandwidth will get increased by a factor of 1 plus AB times the bandwidth without feedback. We know that F0 is the bandwidth of open loop op amp, that is without feedback, and which is having very small value, near about 5 Hertz is the bandwidth of open loop op amp. And for a single break frequency op amp, when we are defining the unity gain bandwidth, that is nothing but the product of gain and frequency over the curve is called as unity gain bandwidth, and which is constant for the curve of the op amp. When we are plotting the bandwidth versus gain plot over the total plot, this product of gain and bandwidth will remain constant, and that is equal to near about 1 megahertz for the operational amplifier 741, that is having for only for single break frequency op amp. So that when we are defining with respect to the unity gain bandwidth, which is product of gain AF into FF is equal to unity gain bandwidth. So the bandwidth with feedback is unity gain bandwidth divided by AF. This UGB is equal to 1 megahertz. Let's consider. For inverting configuration also, there is increase into its bandwidth, and that is from 1 plus AB time F0 to F0 into 1 plus AB times. Again there will be same increase. If we are well known about the break frequency F0, we can use this equation. But if you have unity gain bandwidth or gain of the feedback, gain of the circuit AF, then we can use this equation for bandwidth with feedback. What this will represent is unity gain bandwidth into K divided by AF. We know that what is K? K is the factor that is equal to RF divided by R1 plus RF. Okay, so that because of this is RF by R1 plus RF, K is always less than 1. K is not greater than 1. It is always less than 1. So if it is less than 1, whenever we are obtained bandwidth for inverting amplifier is always less than the bandwidth of non-inverting amplifier. Okay, so the maximum bandwidth, possible bandwidth we can obtain here is with non-inverting op amp. Inverting op amp will have minimum bandwidth. If we are designing the operational amplifier with gain is equal to 1, means when AF is equal to 1 for both the configurations, whether it is for non-inverting configuration, if AF is equal to 1, what should be the bandwidth? FF is equal to unity gain bandwidth. Okay, in the same case we consider that gain is equal to 1 for inverting amplifier. If AF is equal to 1, its FF is equal to UGB into K. Now what is AF? AF is equal to minus RF by R1, and this value is equal to 1. It means that RF is equal to R1. If RF is equal to R1, K is equal to RF by 2 RF, or it is 1 by 2. So if gain is equal to 1, K factor is equal to 1 by 2. So what should be bandwidth is? Bandwidth is UGB by 2. That will be half of the bandwidth of non-inverting amplifier. It means that when we are designing both the configurations for unity gain, unity bandwidth, for unity gain, when its gain is equal to 1, still we got bandwidth variations where bandwidth of inverting amplifier is half of the bandwidth of non-inverting amplifier. The other parameter is total output offset voltage, that is offset voltage because of the input offset current and voltage is present at the input. When there is no feedback, very small input offset voltage or small input offset current will cause the output of op amp to drive into the saturation. Okay, that is because of the very high gain. What is the gain of op amp? Op amp gain ideally infinite. Open loop op amp's gain is ideally infinite, and practically which is near about 2 into, or which is 2 into 10 raised to 5. So any microvolt input will be get, or millivolt input will be present at the input, that will drive the op amp into saturation. What it means is its output is beyond its limit. So output is either positive saturation or negative saturation. So total output offset voltage will get reduced by a factor of 1 by 1 plus AB times when we are using the feedback. Okay, so Now because of this we can use the operational amplifier for active region, that is in between the active region we can apply the operational amplifier. The same output offset voltage will be there for the inverting configuration, that is again total output offset voltage will get reduced by 1 by 1 plus AB times. Okay, so that is there is reduction in the output offset voltage when we are using the negative feedback or when we are going using the closed loop configurations of inverting amplifier configuration or non-inverting configuration. So whether we are using the inverting or non-inverting, when it is in closed loop configuration, its output offset voltage, total output offset voltage will get reduced by a factor of 1 by 1 plus AB, which is similar to the reduction of voltage gain from A to A by 1 plus AB. Similarly here total output offset voltage will reduce from plus minus Vsat to plus minus Vsat by 1 plus AB. So these in this way already we have compared both the configurations and its parameters. So when we want to select for an application the proper op amp, we can make use of these parameters, and according to these parameters we can select the respective perfect operational amplifier for that application, whether we require the maximum input resistance or in some applications if we require the maximum bandwidth, in that case we can go with the non-inverting configuration, or respectively whether what is the actual need, that is whether we want to go for inverter or we want to go for current voltage converter, and the other that when we no need to have the high input resistance, that then we can go for the inverting configurations. So with the help of these parameters and analysis of these parameters, we can select the proper op amp for the respective applications. Okay, so in this way we can see the effects of closed loop configuration on different parameters of operational amplifier that we have summarized into this table, and also we have seen the possible or special cases of the non-inverting configuration, which is voltage follower, and special case of the inverting amplifier, which is current voltage converter and inverter circuits. Okay, so this is how we have summarized about the closed loop configurations of op amp. The another configuration, that actually there are three configurations, that one is inverting amplifier with feedback, another is non-inverting amplifier with feedback, and the third configuration is differential amplifier with feedback. How these configurations will be depending on to which input terminal we are providing the input. When we are providing input to inverting input terminal, that configuration is inverting configuration. If input is given to the non-inverting input terminal, it is non-inverting amplifier, and if input is present to both of the input terminals, then this is called as an differential amplifier, that both input terminals will have the input signals, that is for both of the inputs we are provided the input voltage signal. That configuration is called as differential amplifier. How it will work and what are the different types of differential amplifier, we'll see into the coming lectures. Thank you.